Larrañaga, what a job he has done year 2 in Coral Gables as he has taken his Hurricanes north here to downtown Raleigh inside one of the great and noisiest venues in college basketball. Starters for Larrañaga today for 14th ranked Miami, 16-3. Shane Larkin, Durant Scott, Trey McKinney-Jones will be the guards, and up front Kenny Kaji and Julian Gamble, the 6th-year senior and mean 5-man who patrols the paint for Jim Larrañaga. Meantime, a couple of changes. We mentioned No Lorenzo Brown, the junior point guard, out today with an ankle. So Rodney Purvis, the freshman, slides over to the point. T.J. Warren, the freshman, from the bench to the starting 5. And another surprise, C.J. Leslie, their star 5-man, will come off the bench. Jordan Vandenberg, the redshirt junior from Australia, will make just his 4th career start. Mark Gottfried making the late changes to his lineup, so their 2 best players not on the floor to start this game.
It is incredible. Of course, the only thing that comes to mind is Mark spoke to us about some early foul problems. If that is the case, maybe give Leslie a little rest, get him into the flow of the ball game. And the only other thing that could have happened, maybe he was a little late for the shoot-around. We don't know. They just changed that lineup.
Yeah, so we're kind of left to speculate. Leslie is in uniform, seated on the North Carolina State bench. Assuming we'll see him at some point early in this game. There's Leslie. So the Hurricanes 16-3, the Wolfpack 16-5. Number 14 against number 19 in the country in a rocky setting here in Raleigh.
Right now, Spiro Dinas. The Wolfpack, go!
Miami 7 straight wins. We mentioned the big one over Duke.
A lot of ball screens at the end, and here's a little nickel diamond, a big show with Hal early. And good players attack that hip. Richard exposed. You got to be quick and space. They want to be tight. Don't let this terrific point guard, Shane Larkin, turn the corner. Same play with a pick and pop.
This is Kaji, a guy so unique and so skilled at his size. Durant Scott, the New York City native, finding his spot and hits the little floater.
Shot selection each year a little bit better. Nice little penetration. Both guards can create.
Scott, the active points leader in the ACC. Larkin, the defensive dynamo, the steal. Up to the rim, and he's hammered. And will shoot 2.
Well, the big concern is playing passing lanes. Larkin, very good on-ball defender, ragging his guy. But if you throw a soft one with any distance, he's got great anticipation, pretty good skills. I think it might have been honed at home. What do you think?
Larkin, the son of Hall of Fame baseball great Barry Larkin. First free throw, no good. He kind of arrived in Coral Gables, Bill, as an unheralded recruit. A lot of people nationally didn't know about him, but boy, has he made a name for himself in just over a season plus.
Yeah, and he really has learned to attack a little bit more. We know he go under, he makes the deep shot, plays with a lot of confidence, skill level very high.
He's been the perfect point guard for a team that's got a lot of confidence, mixture of rashness, just a perfect temperament that suits this team.
And by the way, the last trip, he did not guard Purvis. He stayed in and tried to play the post guy. Well, it was threatening him to take the deep one.
You saw Miami 0-6 all-time at NC State. Have never won in this building. Vandenberg, the steal of Kaji.
Nice attack.
Owl right to the rack and goes glass.
Nice look by Purvis, but the big guy sealing the deal after rebounding at one end. Great sprint. There's their little post rub set and cross screen.
This is McKinney-Jones against Scott Wood.
And you got to use a good threat team.
McKinney-Jones, their second best three-point man last season, bangs one in. It's a long 2. And Miami in front by 3.
Nice protection. Scott very alert. They balanced the floor beautifully.
Durant Scott, another steal, one of 2 in the ACC to lead his team in both points and assists. This is Julian Gamble, swallowed up inside. Gamble playing very close to where he grew up in Durham. There's C.J. Leslie checking into the game.
I got to think a foul situation. Just steal a little time on the clock. Get into the flow of the game mentally.
McKinney Jones catch and shoot. Offensive rebound. Kaji, shot clock resets. Kaji wants to go right at Leslie, over the top of him, and it's 7-2.
Boy, is he tough around the rim. Experience.
Wood, corner three. Doesn't need a lot of space. And NC State cuts it to 2.
Well, they had worked hard this morning just tagging him. He's so tough. Got to be on the catch.
Wood, the senior from Marion, Indiana, was a sophomore when this program hit rock bottom 2 years ago under star alumnus Sidney Lowe. He has been to the bottom and now the top, trying to get the Wolfpack to the top of the ACC. Howell shoots over Gamble, and the rebound knocked out of bounds underneath off of Miami.
Now they're going to get together. I think Bernard feels he's got the right goal. They're going to change it. No, they are. Jamie Lucky with the power of persuasion. A hometown favorite here.
Well, not only from his officiating teammate, from about 15,000 of his closest friends here in Raleigh.
There's great preparation on the out of bounds. There were a lot of stuff for Wood with doubles for him. Must be alert.
There's Leslie. Well, didn't start against Virginia earlier this week. He was under the weather. Gamble in the open floor, extending to the cup. And Miami builds on its lead.
Experience. He has been around. Look at this steal alert by number 2 by Larkin.
McKinney Jones inside. Curtis doesn't want to pick up the second. And
Sloppy.
Miami extends to a 6-point lead.
Well, they gave him 2 baskets already. Not alert.
Bill, there's just something about this Miami team. They're ultra confident anywhere they play, especially on the road. They love playing in this kind of a road environment.
Yeah, they've just grown, I think, as the season's progressed, gotten better and better. Nice penetration by the big fella Howe. Well, he is tough. Turn, face, attack.
Miami/Super Bowl. Countdown to the Super Bowl in New Orleans, nearing its end, and finally they'll play the game tomorrow. Tyler Lewis, the freshman, has come on for NC State. He'll have to go a little bit deeper into the rotation. If you've just joined us, Lorenzo Brown, their star point guard, the junior, out today with an ankle injury. Richard Howell's three-point play makes it a 3-point Miami lead.
And of course, the moral support on the bench very helpful, but also getting an opportunity for Lewis. Couple of bounce, jump shot. McDonald's All-American, very confident player. The big fella.
Reggie Johnson in, gets right to work, a little bit too strong.
Now look for them to move him around on the defensive end. That's what I'd like to see more of with Wood.
Well, that's the element of his game that he added during the summer after the urging of Mark Godfrey. Here's McKinney Jones on a corner 3. Offensive rebound taken by Tonye Jakiri. And the shot clock resets.
Very active, athletic. The old floater. You got to have it in your game. You see enough of those in the NBA, don't you?
That's a shot he learned on the playground in New York City. Second floater we've seen from Durant Scott. And Miami up by 5.
Baseline rubs, going top side. This is when they slip well. State.
NC State so careless with it early on. They've committed 5 turnovers in less than 6 minutes.
Not as alert, really, as they normally are.
NC State 16-5 coming in. 5-3 so far in ACC play. But this by far their biggest game of the season. Excellent touch feed to Johnson inside.
How about that sensational recognition? And Mark Godfrey really upset with the defensive reaction. Pretty good by Jimmy Larranaga's guys.
Jimmy Larranaga's Miami Hurricanes coming to Raleigh.
Whatever it takes.
Well, Mark Godfrey certainly unhappy with what he's seen so far. 5 early turnovers from State. And right now the Hurricanes on the road leading by 7.
And what that does, put you at a disadvantage defensively. You're not prepared. Here's the normal UCLA set, pin down. Unless he's got to attack a little bit, I think.
There's an open three from Lewis. Tough shot, about a foot and a half beyond the three-point line.
Al's got to be careful with Johnson because he does initiate contact. Wow, a little discard. Whew. Warren using that upper body strength. Now, this is ACC basketball, huh? You're not getting around that 10. Disarm you first.
Bill, you think back, to last year, 24 wins for Godfrey Deere in his first year, and this fan base in Raleigh has been so thirsty for a winner. They've been down for so long. The expectations built up to such a level during the summer. Godfrey kind of predicted that this would happen, that maybe they were getting a little bit ahead of themselves, and he was onto something because they have struggled for whatever reason dealing with the burden of what people expected this team to be.
Well, he created expectations now. That's the toughest thing. Of course, guys with this type of talent, the bench has been a little bit difficult. He's trying to extend that to get a little more depth. Fouls have been an issue on occasion. But this area of the world, a little nickel dimer here. I don't think of it to Larkin.
Well, NC State has had some big wins. We mentioned Miami beating Duke, but the Wolfpack knocked them off as well. They beat Duke and North Carolina, but after that game, they struggled. It seems like every time they beat the Tar Heels, they lose the next game. In fact, it's happened 9 straight times. 3 straight road losses for NC State. Just can't seem to put that string together to get them over the top.
This is where he's tough, I think. He faced very tough to defend, and that's the disadvantage defensively for Johnson. Are you suggesting a letdown after they beat Carolina?
A little bit. A little bit. That's Richard Howell. 7 points. He's been a catalyst for State. But they're still down 7. Durant Scott off the heel of the rim. Rebound Lewis. Here comes the little speedy point guard right to the rim. Smallest guy on the floor, fearlessly going to the rack. And he'll shoot 2.
Pretty heady play, too. He knew the defense was within the restraining line. As they backed up, he kept attacking. And the one thing, it's sort of sad, Brown not being here, but the other guys can get an opportunity to learn the game, be under the gun, make some decisions, put a little pressure on him.
Lewis is 79% free throw shooter. He's a McDonald's All-American out of Oak Hill Academy. A freshman from Statesville, North Carolina. It's the second, makes it a 6-point game with 13 minutes to play before halftime.
A lot of ball screens, you got to be able to handle them. Here's a trap, something they haven't done yet. Make Larkin give it up. They will not do that. And Kaji's in the lineup. Oh, steps.
Howell the steal, 3-1. Behind him for Warren, who's fouled. And it looks like T.J. Warren is hurt. Reggie Johnson got him on the back of the head.
I thought it was a pretty good basketball foul. They're liable to look at it just to make sure, but in the old days, this would be just a run out and a very strong foul. But right there, I thought he may have gotten steps, but not giving up on it. They're not going to look at it.
That's a lot of weight coming on from the backside as Johnson going full head of steam up the floor.
And you know what's great about Johnson, though? He had that thumb injury in Hawaii. Stayed in shape. They ran him. He did all the other. They did. They called it flagrant 1. Interesting. Anything to the head anymore. Didn't even look at the monitor for that one.
Well, they felt they didn't need to. So Johnson whistled for the flagrant. Jim Larinaga just notified by the officials. So 2 shots and possession for NC State.
Because Jimmy, I've known him a long time. Beat our Seton Hall teams when he was at Providence. Great player. Jack Curran, his old high school coach, is a dear friend. There's still great contact, great respect for him. Of course, he had Joe Mulaney recruited him, Dave Gavitt. Amazing lineage in the basketball area.
Larinaga, the Bronx native. Hard to believe Jack Curran's still coaching at Archbishop Malloy. It's been over almost 60 years.
Baseball, too, and basketball.
That's right.
He was pitching batting practice until a couple of years ago. Thought they might call him up.
A lot of people forget Larrañaga had his taste of the ACC way back as an assistant at Virginia.
A big influence too, he said. Terry, well, I love this kid when he faces and goes. How?
So Johnson clears for Miami. 4-point lead for the Hurricanes. There's a transition three from Larkin. Jacquiri, the offensive rebound.
Nice patience here.
3 seconds against Miami.
Jacquiri, I think, stayed.
Well, here was the flagrant foul, Bill, on Johnson a moment ago. They said he came right down over the top. Dangerous play, and that got the attention of the official.
Now, anything above the shoulders anymore, they are, by legislation, expected to call. You can see the excessive and unnecessary foul. So
Lewis around the screen, and he is whacked by Larkin from the back. He is a statement with that foul.
He is the strong guy, though. That was almost clean. No question he got him, but he does not give up on a play. And I've seen him do this on cutters and big guys holding the ball, rip it away. Good, strong play. No question about the foul.
It almost looked like Larkin wanted to snatch the basketball from him, not trying to block the shot.
I had the good fortune, along with Vern Lundquist, of doing that run for George Mason. I got to know Jim, his philosophy, the influence of his son. He talked to you about his son, Jay.
That's right. A great story about during that 2006 run, Jay, who was in Italy playing, his son, Jay, called his pop and said, Dad, I sent you an email with some strategy about the game. And it was late at night. It was about 11. Jim said, I'm going to bed. I'll look at it tomorrow. And his son said, Dad, do you want to win?
A threat.
So he went down and looked at the email as Durant Scott again gets to the rim.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, he would settle for jump shots. Great, putting it on the deck and get to the rim.
Third bucket for Durant Scott. And Miami in front by 4 points.
Well, Leslie's got to get into the flow a little bit. There's that pinch post entry pass.
Leslie yet to score. This is Lewis going to the left-handed floater, and a tip in by Howell.
They did not stick him. Reggie, when ball looking, any dribble penetration, the bigs aren't as alert. Step up, get lost.
Richard Howell, the senior forward, with 9 of NC State's 17 points. Look at Leslie out in the open floor, nearly coughed it up. They find Wood for the corner three.
Woo. That would have brought the house down. Very alert play by Lewis. Location, know where your partner is.
Larkin, and Miami answers.
Well, he's had 2 clean looks. One a dribble, and they didn't stop him this time on the penetration kick out. Pretty basketball.
Larkin, the sophomore, the surprise freshman in the ACC a year ago. No longer coming up to surprise anyone this year. Excellent feed inside to Howell, and an even better finish.
Well, nice curl by Wood, set that whole play up. 1-4.
Not that time.
But there's so many options on that play where they get the hide and seek for Wood, the cross screen, the empty side drive to the right. Little power to the tin.
So Mark Godfrey needed someone else to step up with the absence of Lorenzo Brown at point guard and C.J. Leslie coming off the bench today for reasons that were not officially given to us by NC State. Excellent drive and kiss off the glass by Rodney Purvis.
Pretty good penetration.
Purvis, Godfrey's prize recruit, the freshman from Raleigh, North Carolina, local kid. Longtime friend of C.J. Leslie, playing with his hometown buddy. Corner three. Too short by Ryan Brown. Here comes Leslie. Confident handle in the open floor. He sticks it in off glass. And NC State with its first lead.
And a great field, too. He knew he was being attacked from the rear. The key time, I think, right now. Scott running the show. Larkin getting the blow. what a settle.
Kaji.
He's got that in his arsenal. You want to see him attack at this point in the game.
This is Purvis. Now to Leslie.
Nice spin.
What a play inside against Kaji.
Great setup to the left. A little lingerie on the deck with the ability and the footwork. Very polished move.
17-5 run for the Wolfpack.
I think they got to use some power. Get something inside.
McKinney Jones can't hit again. Offensive rebound, Kaji, and fouled by Vandenberg.
Well, nice job by Vandenberg, too. I thought he had a lot of the basketball on that particular play. But we've been waiting for the talented one to step up. Here, the feel, not to turn it over, and the ability to split defenders, but right here, drop, spin, kiss. Whew. Pretty good afternoon move.
C.J. Leslie, the junior, the star up front for Mark Godfrey. Grew up 15 minutes from the NC State campus. His mom was a huge Wolfpack fan, and when it was time to make the decision, he waited for his mom to come home from work one day, sat her down, and said, "Mom, I'm about to make you real happy." And needless to say, she was ecstatic, and it's been a decision that's panned out. Leslie had to make another big decision last summer, whether to go pro or come back. And suffice to say, Mark Gottfried was very excited about that decision he made. Vandenberg going left hand. Leslie blocked inside, but a foul. And he'll shoot two.
Right, what a nice play. They run wood baseline on a curl and a slip and cleaned it up on the offside. He didn't start, but stepping up right now. Leslie off a set play. The recipient. Terrific maneuver and solid performance. All about, I think Miami's got to go inside and make him play, make some body contact. He is a legit out during the course of the game here. If he's got the ability not to be in foul problem.
Well, this is a Miami team that has been nearly perfect on the road. 7-1. They've won in nearly every environment that they've had to deal with. Let's see how they fare here. This is tougher building to play in as ever. They were out here about 90 minutes before the game shooting, and they were being taunted by these State fans vehemently.
I thought they were talking to you with some of the suggestive comments.
Trey McKinney-Jones handles for the Hurricanes. So a 3-point lead for State, 7.5 to play in the first half. McKinney-Jones struggling early. Still can't find the rim.
Well, they're not going inside, but pretty good job of getting the offensive rebounds. A little bit of a zone look right now.
McKinney-Jones coughs it up baseline. And NC State gets it back.
The defensively, Hal does not want to foul. Of course, just that little body swipe caused the problem, but he's got to seal the baseline so he doesn't foul.
You see the turnover discrepancy. NC State very careless with it early. They've addressed that. Howell feeling it early on. Offensive rebound. Warren. And can't put it back.
Well, you give him those looks, though. We got a timeout.
Well, Jim Larenega's got that look on his face. Not happy with what he's seen the last couple of minutes. Miami down 3. After the Super Bowl, there's a new team worth rooting for. Johnny Lee Miller is Sherlock Holmes, and Lucy Liu is Watson. Catch TV's #1 new show, Elementary, tomorrow after the Super Bowl, only on CBS.
They're not going to post up, so maybe the dribble drive, of course, right away. What a nice read. Whew.
Larkin has become so good so fast. Hard to believe. 12.9 points per game.
You know, early in the year, a couple of weeks ago, they played LaSalle. I happened to be watching the game, and he was not driving. Jim was furious with him. And all of a sudden, he started to attack and set up, of course, the easy shots, but then his outside game took over as well. Big impact player.
And something you rarely see. Howell, offensive rebound, had it stripped on his way up.
That's that
Larkin
third steal. Third, I think, if I'm not mistaken. He's amazing.
The other rare thing about Larkin, you know, at his age, he takes even more pride in his defense than he does in his offense.
And right here gets a piece of it again. Stops the break.
It's Purvis, the kick out to Lewis for the three.
Oh, nice rebound. Foul? They're going to jump ball. Had that hand in there. But that's what you like to see about Leslie. Get immersed in the game. Get involved. And out of nowhere, that's just a great effort. Out of space, out of area. Snatch.
Leslie against Gamble. What a matchup this is. Change of direction by Warren. A running floater as he faces up to the rim and makes it a three-point game.
Boy, he's an offensive-minded player, isn't he? Strong, two-bounce attack.
Warren, the freshman, making the start today. Leslie had it inside, lost it. And Miami retains with 21 to shoot.
Nice save by Gamble. Nice crossover. Get yourself into the lane. Once again, the ability to either the straight-on floater or the little baby hook release. Pretty solid play.
Warren leading the ACC in field goal percentage as a first-year guy. What a future he has here in Raleigh.
Well, their babies are pretty good, aren't they?
We come up on 5 minutes to play before halftime. Miami, the number 14 team in the country, winners of 8 straight, down 3. This is Durant Scott. A lot of dribbling.
Tough shot, too. Reggie's got to turn and control his guy. Johnson on the block. Beg for that basketball a little bit.
Purvis turns the corner.
It's got to be a foul on Johnson. Yeah, he rode under him. Got there late. Jim Larrañaga not really happy with this, but you can just see he kept moving and rode under him. Thought it was a pretty good call.
So, Bill, considering the circumstances, no Lorenzo Brown, arguably their most important player at the point, you have to be pretty pleased with what they've seen so far after the sluggish start.
You know, it's not only the guards playing decently, but it's Hal stepping his game up, not inhibited by foul problems. And Lewis able to move to the point a little bit, make some good decisions. Put Rodney Purvis on the shooting side.
Lorenzo Brown's streak of 59 consecutive starts ending today. An ankle injury sustained earlier in the week in their loss at Virginia.
There's the lock. It was going inside. Good call from the bench.
And it's Kaji elevating over Howell, but just couldn't finish. And Miami's offense has gone stone cold.
Got to make that shot. You expect to see more of that offensive display. Get some touches down deep.
Hurricane shooting percentage now is dipped to 40%.
There's one of their favorite plays. Screen, hit the pinch post screen, and then a great decision by Leslie. Little step through.
8 points, 6 rebounds for Leslie, and a Wolfpack with its biggest lead.
Look at the target Reggie has to be. He's got to want it a little bit.
Kaji sets the table for Scott, had it stripped in the paint.
Nice fight for the ball by Warren. Numbers.
Lewis, dangerous pass taken by Purvis. He's swallowed up by Johnson inside. Larkin, the speedy point guard, right to the rack, and no one back for NC State.
I'll tell you what, though, that was just a heady move, attacking the body.
Lob pass for Leslie, too high. So a turnover by the Wolfpack. Miami gets it back when we come back to Raleigh next on CBS. Brandon played a season under Jim Harbaugh at Stanford before Jim left to coach the 49ers. So Mark will be at home watching the game tomorrow.
They say you get together once in a while on the holidays. He gets to see them, particularly when he was younger. Exciting time in New Orleans for the brothers.
So there's Julian Gamble again, right to work off the timeout. And Miami, just like that, cuts it to 2.
Julian's 6-year guy, really heady player, getting a master's degree, knows how to play, plays within himself. But good teams and good coaches. At a timeout, so ring the bell.
Gamble 3 surgeries on his left leg. The last to correct an ACL tear in the left knee. Sustained just a couple of months. On a putback dunk! Blasting finish by Rodney Purvis.
Wow. Most guards take it and settle and run some offense. Not Rodney.
That right there may be the play of the year in college basketball.
Can't top it, Rodney. Good judgment.
Warren short arms the corner three. Here comes Purvis again. Gamble blocks it.
Numbers.
3-on-1 Gamble trailing the play, and he puts it down.
And what a pass by Larkin. Nice little pocket delivery. Wow. Rodney on the rise. Extraordinary. This is about 4 feet from the rim. The timing, extraordinary. The sprint. Here it comes. Leave the chandelier. Goodness.
I mean, Phil, there are no words for what we just saw. That was incredible. And they're going to give Purvis a well-deserved blow. Wow. So a minute 50 to play in the first half. NC State with possession, a 2-point lead, backdoor play. Lewis finding his man Warren at the rim.
Well, Miami's really not doing as good job normally as they do on defense. They didn't even run the play state that they wanted and got it on the weak side. Wood was screening, and then he was getting the down screen. They didn't even get to that.
And how about the play of Tyler Lewis? They haven't really missed a beat.
No.
In the absence of Brown. Larkin's three-pointer partially blocked by Warren. Run out 4-on-1. Lewis.
Too many choices.
Pass. Leslie is there to finish nonetheless.
How about that? No balance. Turnovers, block shots, and at top of the key area, you're going to get those runouts.
Well, quickly this game turned after Miami blitzed State to start. But since then, Miami's offense has gone south. Trey McKinney, Jones soaring baseline, can't hit again. Lewis finding his spot.
Pretty. How about that little kiss? Away from the traffic.
Shot clock at 10. Durant's got trapped. Got a Gamble.
Pretty low.
Inside to Kaji. Excellent high-low between Gamble and Kaji. 6-point game, 1 second. Howell fires a three as we reach halftime. Well, Miami made the early statement, but NC State answers and leads 40-34 at halftime. We'll be back with AT&T.
Uses his body weight, controls you, makes great decisions, athletic around the rim. Boy, a different team when he has got his head immersed in the game.
Well, Leslie did not start today for his second straight game. He was under the weather earlier this week in the loss at Virginia. Today, we were not given a specific reason. We know he's still not sick. But whatever the issues, it's behind him at this point as Leslie and company up 6. And he starts the second half for NC State.
You see what adjustments this team is going to make. A lot of deep chuck and ducks. Didn't shoot the three very well. 1 for 13. Good percentage shot there. He is tough. In, out, with the bounce.
It's Kenny Kaji, the 50-year senior from Cameroon. 2 years at Florida before transferring in 2010. He's that stretch 4 player that has made this Miami team so dynamic under Jim Larrañaga.
Julian Gamble does a nice job taking Hal out of that duck end.
Excellent find, Purvis, but one pass too many. Leslie trying to find Howell. And last touch by Kaji with 12 to shoot.
Unselfish, but a little too close quarters. I think the House still saw there's a double they love to run on out of bounds for Wood. Now still talking about that Purvis dunk. Another 3-second crawl. Whew.
Another change Mark Godfrey has made. Bill Tyler Lewis, the freshman point guard who came off the bench to start with Lorenzo Brown out, played so well in the first half Gottfried feeling secure enough to start him here in the second half.
I think he likes Purvis off the ball more than he does on, although he is adequate in that area.
So T.J. Warren, the freshman forward, will come off the bench here. Warren played very well in the first half.
Well, I think they got the message.
Kaji again going right at Leslie. And here comes Miami to start the second half.
Why not ride him? He's so talented, isn't he? Foul line jumper, then the post up.
Miami, 8 straight wins coming on. That high-profile win at home against Duke, their first ever win against the #1 overall team just over a week ago. McKinney Jones on a 3. He's been struggling today.
Nothing there.
Lewis to the rim. Nearly got the layup.
Who's he think he is, Brown? A little explosive play. 1-on-2. Just going at the rim. Pretty good just to get it up there.
Yeah, I don't know how to say it without sounding derogatory, but you look at him and he doesn't look like a star collegiate point guard at this level, but boy, he's been proving people wrong his whole life. Undersized at his position, Bill. And what a job he's done in his freshman year here under Mark Gottfried.
How about 44 in zip in high school? That's pretty good for your leader.
Well, Gottfried said his assistant coaches were the first to spot him on recruiting trips. And Gottfried said it didn't take long. First time he watched him, he was kind of tired after a long summer trip with a traveling team. Second time he saw him, he said he knew that he had the command of the position that he would need at this level. And what a signing he's been for NC State.
Well, all great coaches make adjustments, and Jim Larrañaga getting everything around the rim. Just solid play out of the gate. He was a little upset, I think, at all those chuck and ducks from deep. 1 for 14 at this point from 3.
Julian Campbell on a putback little left-handed finish. So Miami is taking the momentum early stages second half. Down 2.
Shot. Yes, count it. All those accolades you've been dispensing. Deserved.
Tyler Lewis, the Statesville, North Carolina native, with 9 points for the Wolfpack.
Lewis with a little size disadvantage. Jones can plumb bop a jump shot. Nice steal here. Wow. Hold on.
"13 points for Howell, and State's lead back to 6.
So good job going under here. Larkin not able to get to the rim. That far out, you might as well go under.
Larkin with 10 to shoot.
What great defense right now.
What a shot by Larkin over the top of Howell.
Poise and deliver.
10 points for the Miami point guard. Orlando native. Well, what games he has had recently for Jim Larrañaga. 18 points, 10 dimes in the big win over Duke. Leslie blocked inside, but a goaltend. They say that Campbell took it off the glass. And NC State's lead back to 6 as Jim Larrañaga calls for time. San Francisco fans thirsty for another Lombardi trophy.
I've gotten to know the family, the Harbaugh family. And obviously Harbaugh's going to win this, but it's got to be tough on all the guys, Jack and his bride. And
can you imagine
Tony
being
Crane?
Jack, Bill, watching that game? You know, one of your sons will be in ecstasy and the other just in agony after that game.
Yep. Okay, right now, I think State has stepped up their defense. Pretty good challenges. Nice little denial and how run out. Just much more solid.
And Trey McKinney-Jones now 2 of 10 from the field. He's missed all 6 of his 3-point attempts.
That's what you got to put it on the deck then and attack.
Lewis sets up his man. Purvis for the corner 3.
A good feel by the point guard, though. Playing together. He was able to get his feet organized. Jim Larrañaga not liking the defense. Wants some contain on the bounce. Wolfpack alive and well.
5-0 going retro, recreating a fan favorite episode from the original series. Don't miss a special new Hawaii 5-0, Monday, only CBS.
How about this scene here? The defense stepped up, started with Everett Case, Press Mavericks, Jimmy V. Oh, my goodness, right? Hobie Sendek was here as well. I think Mark Gottfried's got this place with the wolf cry behind them.
Well, Mark Gottfried showed up here 2 years ago in this program and hit rock bottom. What a move, and boy, that timely bucket couldn't have come at a better juncture of this game for Miami, down 9 points as Durant Scott with a chance at a three-point play.
Yeah, he's got the bigger guy, Leslie, and a pretty good delivery at the end of it. I just like what he's been able to do now. Mix his game up, not just settle deep. Looks in great shape. Nice attack off the bounce.
But Gottfried, Bill, shows up here 2 years ago, a 15-16 year, turns the program around in a year, and basically with the same team that had stumbled the year before, takes them to the Sweet 16 in the tournament. They lose to Kansas, and here they are now. They're after kind of fumbling through the burden of the expectations early. Boy, they look good today. And could this be the breakthrough win after the big one over Duke and Carolina in recent days?
This is just to give it the impact, no question about it. What he's done, though, is he's developed the bench. You can see Lewis now, nice look. It's getting a little bit deeper as they get towards tournament time.
NC State coming into today 19th in the country, ranked as high as 4th in the preseason polls, 16-5. And today playing without their star point guard Lorenzo Brown, who's out with an ankle.
Oh, nice job on the catch by Leslie. Not a good one. Let him catch it, turn. That's a cheapie that you don't want Howell to have, and I think Warren's going to come in for him right away.
That's the second against Howell. So T.J. Warren, the freshman.
Nope, going for Wood. They're keeping him on the floor.
Gottfried will trust his senior forward.
Screen the screener.
Johnson, the big burly forward, got himself to his spot, just couldn't hit.
Well, Lewis played with a lot of confidence, isn't he?
Lewis played only 20 minutes against Virginia earlier this week. Tonight, over 30, left-handed finish, and he's headed to the line.
Tell you, playing with the head up, if anybody steps up, and I love the use of the left. He sees the defender anticipating Johnson. And look at the shove. I think actually Leslie's the one that shoved a Miami player. And look who's enjoyed it the most. Zone Brown.
Well, Lewis kind of faltered in the final minute in the loss at Virginia. Had a turnover, a couple of missed threes on open looks. But boy, has he atoned for that stretch.
This is seasoning, too, getting you ready for the home stretch. When you can trust a guy like this to run your team. Tyler. Real solid. They got a little tag here, not a good one. Purvis. A little nickel dimer. Bobby Lutz out there trying to calm Mark down. There's Bobby Lutz, very successful coach at Charlotte. Highly respected.
There's a look at a three. So Miami answering again from the outside. Trying to stay within striking distance, now down 7.
Sorry, Spiro, going under when he can make the shot. It's not a healthy thing.
Ryan Brown whistled for the foul. And again, you have to keep in mind, Lewis just a freshman.
It was one of those, you say, why? Look how far, he's not doing anything constructive. Just guard and move.
Lewis has not turned the basketball over today, despite the fact that he's played extended minutes in this kind of a pressure cooker game.
Stack set. Into the 1-4.
Dangerous pass taken by Leslie. Little shuffle feed to Howell going glass.
A great look. No question. But the activity by Hal just to present a passing lane. Terrific maneuver.
Johnson drop stepping. Nothing Howell can do about that.
How do you stop that? Oh, looking for some assistance, a bailout. He is a big, tough, strong guy. Around the rim.
Johnson got him behind his hips, and it was all over at that point. Lewis on a little drop back for Warren going floater. They say no basket.
See, I don't score the goal. I just wipe it out. That's keeping everybody happy. That's getting home early and doing your homework. Ah.
So the basket will count. And Miami will take possession. Down 9.
Well, he's got them believing, doesn't he? Well, I got to know Mark actually a lot better when he was broadcasting, and excellent in that area. So coach at Alabama. They have the interesting thing. This is the guy, I think, inside now. Kenny.
Another three-pointer from Kaji, and just like that, it's a 6-point game.
He's tough, isn't he?
13 points for Kaji, a 50-year senior. And contact that time whistled on Larkin. Miami staying within striking distance with 11:48 remaining.
Made himself available. Just sensational. He's on the floor. It's a different presence for this team. And of course, combined with Tyler Lewis, effective play at the guard spot. And right now comes stretch time.
Well, 3 of those 7 rebounds on the offensive glass. Scott Wood, quick catch and shoot on the quick trigger jumper.
And they worked on that this morning, as we both saw. He is great getting his feet set. They pin guys for him, and he has a quick jack.
Well, Miami hasn't been beaten since Christmas Day against Indiana State.
Double.
Johnson trying to get his feet set, just kind of threw it up and in. You could make the argument when Johnson is fully healthy, he's one of the better inside scorers, maybe the best inside threat in the ACC.
He's not going to elevate, though. He's not going to go over top of you, so you got to stay at home. He may move a few molars.
Shot clock still at 12. This is Leslie trying to go over Johnson.
Look at this blow by.
Wow. If there's a guy who's faster from baseline to baseline than Shane Larkin, Bill, I don't know who it is.
Well, he is extraordinary. This is just great athleticism. Unable to convert, but then the push and the ability to turn the corner. But this is impressive. Consistently done. He's extraordinary.
Larkin, the sophomore, born in Orlando.
They're a tough-minded team. They're going to hang. I get the feeling, though, being on the road as they have all week, that is tough on young people.
Well, they've been here since Tuesday, got in and decided to stay here after their game at Virginia Tech. Flew into Roanoke. And instead of going back home and then flying back here to Raleigh, Jim Larrañaga elected to keep his team here in Carolina. Scott Wood saving it to Vandenberg. What a play for NC State. And so the Wolfpack maintaining a 6-point lead with 10:35 remaining.
Nice. They do a great job on that curl slip.
That's the Australian national Vandenberg.
Tough angle for that lefty hook, wasn't it?
Vandenberg made his first start of the season today with Leslie coming off the bench. It's his 4th career start for the redshirt junior.
Gonna ride the big guy.
Gamble offensive rebound, and he's headed to the line. Contact from the back from Wood.
He does a nice job, sure. He was at the foul line, got to the weak side, anticipating the shot. Just a great read as the double occurs. Clever. You were teasing age because he's been around. He wasn't at the Battle of Normandy, I assure you.
23-year-old, sixth-year senior hitting on the first. Sunday, February 10th, it's music's biggest night, the Grammy Awards. Your favorite superstars performing live. Don't miss the show. Everyone will be talking about LL Cool J hosts the Grammys Sunday, February 10th, only CBS. So every time you think Miami's done, you look up, they're only down 4 points here as we hit the midway mark of the second half.
Well, they are competitive. When they hang, you're right. On the road, that's very important.
Lewis trying to find his spot, shoots over Brown, and hits again.
That's one thing we saw yesterday in practice and in tape. He's got that couple of bounce pull-ups, square and deliver.
Tyler Lewis with 14 points.
Nice cut.
Hard finish by Johnson with a right hand.
And Gamble once again, Julian with a good feel and delivery to his big mate Lowe.
Reggie Johnson with 6 of those 8 points coming since halftime. Nice hands again. This kid knows the game. Gamble the steal of the Woods pass. Sidesteps Woods, finishes, and he's fouled.
That does a Hale Irwin, slapping everybody after winning the Open. Boy, the footsteps, the Euro maneuver, the big hands making it a tough entry on that slip, being as big as 1, 2, gorgeous.
That's that little Euro hop that you mentioned.
Yeah, Ginobili at his best, and a lefty too.
So with Miami staying in town here, the Durham native Gamble able to go home, visit with his mother and the rest of his family on Thursday night. Playing in front of his mom, Sarah, today. A motion-filled day for Gamble. And Miami now in a 9-2 run, looking for more. Scott beating Lewis back. And Miami retakes the lead.
You know, at the Open, we talked about beating people by a number of points. And it's all set up by stellar defense. First, Julian Gamble with the big hands, and that time the anticipation on the wing. Wire to wire. Scott, don't blink your eyes. Get the sunglasses on. The new shoes.
11-2 spurt. First lead since they were up 22-21 midway through the first half.
Now, he's a gamer, this guy. Bowling Green. This ends up at University of Miami, and he's got the city excited.
Well, what a win this would be against an NC State team with the lofty expectations, coming in at number 19 in the country at 16-5.
I would go to Hal with the semi-post up. Can't be played by Johnson. Now that's a settle.
It's a long 2. Shot clock is down to 4 seconds, and Johnson clears.
Bad trip. Boards to a high-low. And Johnson owns the baseline.
Big fella getting to work, and he'll shoot free throws again. As suddenly Reggie Johnson becoming the catalyst inside for Miami.
They really attacked him on the bounce, come up with some arm, but he is such a great target. You can see Wood, no question, with the grab. He can't believe it, but excellent call.
Johnson missing 8 games with a fractured thumb on his hand, the 50-year senior. As Bill mentioned earlier, they expected him to miss 6 to 8 weeks. He only wound up missing 4 weeks. Made that surprise start before the game against Duke. Really spurred on the crowd at Coral Gables. Turned out to be the biggest win, arguably, in their program's history. But Johnson, one of the centerpieces for this team down low, as Miami now has put together a 13-2 run and have taken a 3-point lead.
I think you got to keep Johnson busy, though, somehow.
Wow. Wesley spinning to the rim, everything but the finish that time.
Boy, you're right.
So some tense moments for these State fans with under 8 minutes remaining.
Pretty good piece of defense there. Hal showing big for Warren.
Miami probing the defense, 13 to shoot. They'll reset to Larkin.
He's got to drive him. Settle.
Long three.
Big rebound.
Gamble back up, swatted inside by Howell. Gamble contact, and he finishes again.
Tell you what, he is a tough guy. Doesn't like to go to that side, but effective on the finish. Likes to come over that court, but the Euro to the rim, and then the anticipation on the wing. And look at those. Is he quicker because of the shoes, or am I missing something here?
I think it adds like a tenth of a second to his speed. But here's Julian Gamble, the Raleigh native, back in his hometown. 16 points, a team high. And what a turnaround to this game now. The Hurricanes down early. And for about the midway stage of the game, right now up 6.
They finally moved Hal around with Johnson. I think that's the play.
This is Purvis on a tough runner. Whew. Huge bucket for NC State. Well, if you've just joined us, Purvis had what could very well be the play of the year so far in college basketball, the putback dunk in the first half.
Well, they've got to be careful going under, particularly with Larkin's range. A little bit of a zone here.
Scott.
Oh, they're doing a job on the glass.
Johnson swatted but fouled by Warren. And as you just said during the timeout, you know, Miami isn't a noted offensive rebounding team, but boy, have they done an incredible job on the offensive glass.
You know, and I think the one thing Mark said to both of us yesterday, they sort of get in position to body you. They're a little stronger, a little older, a little more mature, and that's had its impact.
Well, this game has been everything we hoped it would. Number 14 in the country against number 19. And one of the great atmospheres in college basketball here in Raleigh. A fan base that has been so hungry for a winner.
There's the shuffle, the duck in. Got to be careful, protect the ball.
And that's one of the knocks on Leslie, kind of a lazy player at times. Didn't protect the dribble. Lewis setting the table for Purvis, knocking down the three.
Lewis with great vision, but also Mark shot them in the proper location.
"13 points for Rodney Purvis, and now Jim Larrañaga wants a timeout. Our CBS crew with you from Raleigh. Miami 69, NC State 67. You see the foul situation at this point. TJ Warren at the top of the list for the Wolfpack with 4. Kenny Kaji still on the Miami bench. It looked like he had some words with Jim Larrañaga earlier.
And I think they just had a couple of words, and he's going to put him back in. I think just to shake him up, realize what's important out there.
This is Gamble. Left-handed attempts, and the rebound by Leslie.
Give it up.
Leslie zigzagging to the rim, and a vicious finish. Woo!
I think he wanted to send the message, and he did. Well delivered. Boy, reminiscent of a play against Michigan early in the year when he went to the rim.
14 and 10 for CJ and Leslie. McKinney Jones still can't hit. 2 of 11 and now 0 for 7 from beyond the arc.
And a great clean look, step in 3.
We are tied at 69 as we come up on 4 minutes to play. Leslie sidesteps Gamble, and he'll shoot 2.
Leslie taking over the game right now. You want your primetime players, but right here, the crossover, and wow, a message and massage. Send it in. Woo.
Boy, we have seen some manly dunks today in this game. The Purvis put back in the first half, and Leslie with the right-handed hammer. Boy, how quiet this place gets on the free throws. Leslie's first rings in. Only their fourth and fifth attempted free throws of the second half.
Brown in. Hopefully they're looking for somebody who can knock down that jumper on the wing off of penetration.
Jim Larrañaga is reinserted Kaji here. He's been on the bench for a good chunk of minutes, but not fooling around anymore with 4:13 to play and NC State retaking the lead.
And with the zone now, the ability to get into cracks and offensive rebound, very important.
Well, Miami trying to justify its spot atop the ACC standings.
Nice cut. Had the jumper.
Kaji absorbing contact. Johnson had it, but Howell takes it back.
Well, I would have taken that nice clean look for Kenny Kaji.
7 straight points for the Wolfpack. Looking for more, up 2.
Leslie wants the ball too. Give it to her. Yeah, they got a nickel diamond on the cut. Brown.
.327 left here on CBS. And doing it, Bill, at both ends of the floor.
He has been terrific defensively with his steals, but inside game. And you know he's going to come over that right shoulder, but still a terrific impact player for New York's finest. Jimmy L. Coach L.
Well, Miami was up 5 points before NC State started on what is currently a 7-0 run.
Bobby's really played well, too.
Scott Wood. An enormous three by the senior forward.
How can you help off him? Unerring. Reach.
Well, Scott Wood was a sophomore when this program hit rock bottom 2 years ago. Looking for a huge victory for this program here against Miami.
Well, they've been riding this 2-3 zone. Occasionally the offensive rebound has hurt them. But forced some deep shots that they haven't been able to make. Turn quick.
Johnson,
there you go.
Face-up shot. It's a 3-point game with 2:26 remaining.
Do it in a hurry, big fella.
Johnson with 13 points, 11 coming in the second half. By far his best game in the 4 games since returning from that fractured thumb. Leslie into a green wall, drawing contact.
Smart play. Just be aggressive. Attack. The terrific understanding to kick out. You turn your head. Wood gets into that passing lane, and then the counter by the big fella. Looming large. Elevation? Short.
Who needs elevation when you got that girth?
As high as you have to go, and he does control people and wear them out.
Well, these are the kind of free throws where you throw the percentages out the window. Different kind of pressure at this point. Leslie is 64% free throw shooter. Can make it a 5-point game. 18 points and 10 rebounds for the junior forward from Holly Springs, North Carolina, 15 minutes from where we are here.
Kaji at the foul line would be very helpful, I think.
Ryan Brown looking for the huge three. And now Miami in trouble with 1:50 to play, down 5.
Their wing shooters have not been able to nail them. That's really had an impact.
Miami 3 for 21 from 3-point distance on the day. They need a stop when we come back.
Is it possible Apple...
aspect. I think they're doing what they're going to do after we stop, what they're going to do on the offensive end. Are they going to extend the floor? A nice communication, particularly when you saw the point guard, Shane Larkin, and the boss having a little dialogue. But some great answers by State and Mark Godfrey, particularly Leslie, and at times Rodney Purvis.
So Miami's 8-game winning streak in jeopardy. Hurricanes, the first ACC school not named Duke or Carolina to lead and start 7-0 in the ACC since 1981 as Durant Scott is tripped up and fouled.
A great hustle by Purvis, and you're right, tripped up, but the anticipation on the wing, you see all the legs getting involved. That's one of those inadvertent fouls you got to call.
NC State, over 10 team fouls, so Miami in the double bonus at this point. A huge play. You get the stop and then the free throws.
They can set up their pressure, no question about it.
91 seconds to play. Scott, a 72% free throw shooter.
They like the 1-2, 1-1 full court pressure, so you got to be ready.
On Monday, the girls visit a fortune teller. We predict comedy. New Two Broke Girls, CBS Super Monday.
Little offense, defense, go a little smaller now. Get ready for the pressure. And this is where it's important. Come to the ball. Guards have to value it, make good judgments. If you State, you know you got 2 timeouts if you're in trouble.
Those are money free throws by Durant Scott under heavy pressure here.
And
then a steal by Larkin. Howard didn't bite on the fakes. A minute 23 to play.
Oh,
Scott gliding to the rim. It's a 1-point game.
Boy, caught in a mistake defensively. Here's another trap. And they got the foul to give away.
Well, Jim Larrañaga can't believe it. So 1-and-1 situation now for Tyler Lewis. 71 seconds to play, and State's lead down to 1.
And you can just see they try to stay home on Julian in the corner here, and just that blow-by ability, and nobody home on that weak side.
Lewis, the freshman, 2 for 2 at the line today.
78% shooter. He's a confident guy with that stroke.
Well, this by far the most impactful game he has had in his first season here under Mark Godfrey.
Now defensively, you want to make Miami use some clock. Let's see if they go straight up man. That little zone look. A lot got lost in translation.
1:11 to play. Any foul on NC State from this point on puts Miami at the line for 2.
Now watch the ball screen and the slip. They go high-low. Johnson was free on a flash.
Down to the final minute. Scott wants to take Leslie. Contact, and he'll shoot 2. Strong move against Leslie. And Scott with a chance to cut it to 1.
You go to guys who've been in the war, and this guy has been in a lot of tough games. Just aggressive, giving away inches, but the body control to plant that pivot foot and deliver.
Durant Scott, the senior from New York City. Former high school star at Rice in Harlem. 72% free throw shooter. 4 for 5 today.
For him, that was not a normal stroke. Well, these are typical conference type games, aren't they? Coming down to last possessions.
Miami 7 straight wins to start conference play. 16-3 on the season, ranked 14th in the country. It's a 2-point game with 54.6 on the clock.
Tough vision with Kaji on the ball. A perfect trap.
Dangerous pass to get Leslie on a hip check. So C.J. Leslie will shoot.
They're stretching the game out nicely right now.
Still a 1-and-1 situation.
Well, this is pretty good coverage. So no question about the foul, but great reaction. Very dangerous. Got to look up, post up in the middle. For those lateral passes, guys step in, get an easy one.
You see Leslie's season percentage, 18 points today, to go along with 11 rebounds. Scott snatches the rebound, and then he's fouled.
Oh, my goodness. Just not good play. It's interesting. We watched the shoot-around, and they were working on missed free throws today, Miami. And this is just not a heady play. What do you benefit by that? Everything bad. Clock stops. Walk to the other end. You get organized if you make them in the press.
Well, I saw your old coach's instincts come back. You kind of cringe there.
It kills you.
Mark Godfrey couldn't believe it. 4 fouls on Leslie, and that's a whole other issue,
right?
If this game were to go to overtime. So Durant Scott back to the line. He can tie it with 47 seconds remaining. Scott, the reigning player of the week in the ACC, also the conference's active points leader.
Jimmy did a nice job at the yo-yo into the bigs. Get some speed and coverage with Gamble on the floor. Rest the big fella Johnson. They'll play straight up. Still got the trap.
Dangerous pass taken by Purvis. Jim Larrañaga telling his guys don't foul as Mark Godfrey wants a timeout. High drama here in Raleigh in an ACC heavyweight.
Bounding key now. Got to set your screen. Step to the basketball. Probably throw it into the backcourt.
Well, NC State foundering under the heavy burden of expectations coming into the season, 19th in the country. Looking for what would be a pivotal win here against Miami. Lewis!
A ball screen to the empty side.
And here we go. 10 seconds. Larrañaga will take the timeout. 10.9 to play. And these fans in Raleigh sweating through their clothes. Their lead at just
a big guy.
Jim Larrañaga will have Durant Scott, the inbound man.
That's where they love a ball screen with Kaji and Larkin because they get a pick and pop. Kaji can put it on the floor as well. Let's see what they do.
Larkin down to 7 seconds. Larkin dribbling right. Bottled up. Face-up shot. Misses the tip-in by Johnson. 0.8 remaining. Purvis fires and it nearly went as the Hurricanes come to Raleigh and steal one against NC State.
Woo! Boy, to perfection.